super zoom, you could see that whatever was coming out of his body corroded the strings. So that's
Eddie Van Halen's
there.
DNA on the strings of this guitar, folks.
Looking all cool with frosted hair.
Oh yeah.
He's got the guitar that Nuno played Super Bowl, which we're doing with Rihanna, right? Look at the whole menu here.
Whole menu. Your appetizers, your main courses.
Let's make a good shot of that.
And that's a 1970s appetizer.
Hey everybody, it's Derek over at Masters of Shred. We have a very special episode of Excursions for you. We're in the beautiful Miami Beach. Before we go into it, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button, share the notification bell, drop a comment, share us with a friend, and grow with us. It's the easiest way to support the channel without ever having to open your pocket. But if you do, we've got some pretty fine options for you at the end of this video. So stay tuned. So where are we today, folks? Let me get right to it. We are at not just a guitar gallery. We're talking about a full-on destination, an experience that has inspired countless guitar galleries across the country that you're very familiar with. I'm talking about the legendary Walt Grace Vintage, the same place that we've seen Yngwie Van Halens walk into, pick up a 1959 Gibson Les Paul, and shred on it. We actually even saw Yngwie sell his Ferrari and Fender through this dealership. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take you guys in there today at this excursion. So we're gonna head in, we're gonna share it with you guys, check out their guitars, check out their cars, and check out their watches. I invite you to join me. Let's go do this.
As you guys can see, this is a pretty purple spot. Very cool art.
All right, introduce yourself to the channel here.
Hello, my name is Juan Montoya. I'm here in Miami, Florida at Walt Grace Vintage with the Masters of Shreds.
And you're gonna tell us some stuff here about
We
here,
have
right?
some Van Halen guitars. These are stage played, hand striped by Eddie Van Halen. And one thing I wanted to point out, this one, I went on YouTube and I checked out the performance. He performed Unchained with this guitar. This is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, 2004. This was on that Sammy Hagar tour.
Wow.
On the video, he's perspiring like crazy. And at the time, he might have been, partying a little too hard.
Right.
So if you look very closely, if you want to super zoom, you could see that whatever was coming out of his body corroded the strings.
Oh my gosh, you can see the corrosion. Oh, dude, look at that.
So that's
Eddie Van
DNA
Halen's
there.
DNA on the strings of this guitar, folks. Is there any better example? Again, dude, hand striped, played on stage, and DNA on this guitar. Available at Walt Grace, because these are all for sale, right?
They're for sale, yes.
Wow.
We were lucky. I think he made 300 or over 300.
Dude, you're saying that he's the last person to play these guitars while he was alive, right? So these are not, you can't play them, but if you bought them, you can do whatever you want with them, right?
Yes, but I think
Don't
the
play
person,
them.
the person who owned them might have just left them as is.
Wow.
That's beautiful art.
These are incredible. Yeah, that won't be the one that I actually love that one a lot up there.
It's really
But now you told me that, I'd go for that. I probably wouldn't play it either. It'd just be placed into a museum piece.
That one's cool too, because that one's in Detroit. I'm a big Kiss fan, so Detroit is, Detroit Rock City.
Yeah.
It's also on my mom's birthday.
Dude, no kidding. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. What historical guitars. Again, no one else has this stuff.
Yeah.
You guys got to come out to Walt Grace. This is incredible. Let's just see this piece of history, man.
Yeah.
See the line there? Oh, look at this, go vinyl. Probably pure coat they put over that, so we want to get that autograph messed up. Very cool. a Fender Kramer wall here. We gave one of these away, SM1s. Little nice Swan Love. What is that? Whoa, what is that? Oh, that's pretty sick. I like that. I don't know what the hell that is. Need to check that, pull that one down. Wow. Haven't seen one of these Kramers in a long time. Right? Little satchel bangle. My brother had this one. Remember this? AVH guitar. Coolish thing. Really love that. God. That almost looks like a maple fretboard. Is it a maple fretboard? Wow. I really like that stand. Got Gabriel here, guitar specialist too, over at Walt Grace Vintage, correcting me on this. That is not a maple neck on it. It's light.
Very light rosewood.
Very light rosewood. It's a gorgeous color though.
They made an SG too, and it was pretty nice.
Wow.
The black binding.
Yes,
A lot of
exactly.
character, too.
Really old school vibes to it though, but that is stellar. Wow. Standard after
They're finally doing funky colors.
Yeah, it's a little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
Very cool. Thanks for showing me, man. I appreciate that. That is awesome. I remember, it's all coming back to me now. I was in Colorado when you listed this on Craigslist.
Oh, was it Craigslist? I thought it was Reverb.
No, it was Craigslist.
Was it?
Back then, we were all on Craigslist. And dude, I remember that listing. I showed it to my dad and I go, oh my gosh, this just dropped. We gotta get back now. And we weren't in town. I remember this. He told me this story. He had all these shredder guitars like 7 years ago. I don't remember any of them. I think he just showed me this picture. I remember this Kramer because it had the Kramer Fender lawsuit era headstock.
Yes, yes.
And but it was color coded too, right? Or it was close. It is color coded.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah, man.
Dude, you had that.
Yeah, and you came in, you hung out for a couple hours or something, you looked at all the other stuff that we had. I don't recall why you didn't purchase it, but you played it for a while, and now it looks like you regret it.
I remember the idea. That's always how it works, right? I remember the warehouse now.
Yes.
I'm remembering the warehouse and seeing that guitar there.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing how these things bring so much memories. I remember that's where some of my pictures were set. I totally, dude, I remember being in Colorado, seeing this ad, and like, oh, I gotta get home now. He's gonna sell this to somebody else.
Yeah, I don't even remember where it ended up. I think it shipped, I want to say it shipped to Japan.
Dude, it probably was. You know what's crazy? You see how much the guitar's gone up since we were looking at like doing them, dude. It's outrageous.
It's always a roller coaster, though.
Dude, right?
Things go up and down, and then it's incredibly hot, and you can't touch it, you know, for at least
around this
considering
time,
what you paid.
nobody cared about Kramer.
No, not at all.
No.
Probably why I put it on Craigslist. Because all the other stuff, I knew where to put that. I was like, all right, so yeah, I don't recall putting it on Craigslist.
That's been a while. Your Gibson wall. That's great. HSG there. Love this. So you do a Ferrari red right here? Just like it. That's Mrs. Little Kayla.
Oh, it's one of ours,
All these killer guitars. My new favorite amp. My new favorite amp, the 2-Rock. This is just awesome tone. Awesome tone. That is wild, huh? Oh my! Wow,
Let's see a few gigs.
that's great. That is such a good weight to it, you know? It's a nasty fucking guitar. Fat ass tone on this thing, dude.
That's alright.
This is a fat ass guitar, dude.
It's great.
I like it. I really dig this guitar. 54. Never played a 54 Telly ever. This is just like, oh shit. Yeah. Ever go drop D on a Telly?
Do it.
Okay. There we go. Be patient. Hey everybody, just a quick reminder, if you'd like to show your support for this channel, and we'd love it if you would, then make sure to check out our limited edition Masters of Shred merchandise at www.mastersofshred.com. You can snag an awesome shirt like this incredible Shred class of 89 ADA throwback tribute, or plenty of other ones that you will not find anywhere else. So check that out, and while you're there, make sure to check out our incredible limited edition Tone Arts USA Super Halen amp. Only 50 will be available, and they are going quick. Now back to the show. Mark Weiss.
Mark Weiss, famous for Bon Jovi's original Slippery When Wet cover.
Of course.
Yeah, we had an art exhibit here when we had the grand opening at this location. So we saw a few of his prints, and of course Tom Keefe.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Always kept original vintage guitars.
Nashville guy now.
Yeah.
He was in the vintage game before anybody else was.
Yeah.
He was collecting all this stuff.
Him and Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick.
Oh my gosh, I know, dude. His
video
collection is
on stage.
insane.
And just before they had guitar boats, so they had everything in stands.
Right. Dude, that is great. I love this picture too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, fucking Kurt and James, looking young and fruitful.
Right over the water fountain.
With a fucking Fernandez. And
Gotta love that. God rest their soul. No longer with us. Closed down last year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. With his performance guitar. That's the Performance Hollywood guitar. Steve I. There we go. Wow. That is awesome, dude. That's performance, right? I'm pretty sure that it is.
Yeah.
That's the Daily
Those
Roth
are
tour.
cool guitars. So did you ever get to pick one up?
I scored one in Titusville.
Is it
So
amazing or what?
people know this story a little bit. I scored a orange Lamborghini orange, one humbucker, same headstock, Kaler, factory Kaler.
Yeah.
$350.
Are you more of a killer or float?
Whatever it has, I'll take it. Yeah. So it's like Killers feel great to me. I didn't know.
Killer's the Slayer sound, man. That ghostly vibrato.
Yes. Very true. But I didn't understand shit about it. Setting them up was, dude, I go watch a couple of YouTube videos a couple times just to know how to set it up. But once I set it up, what you can do with the Kaler that you can't do with the Floyd is huge. Like the string spacing, you get super tight. If you want close string spacing, which everyone usually wants close, so you can get there quicker, you know, you gotta buy a Floyd Rose Pro Elite or some shit, top of the line. With the Kaler, you can just do it yourself and have it adjust to anything you like. It's really precision.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got that for $350, and I knew what it was. Late night basic marketplace. I said performance, like Hollywood performance guitars. That, again, if you Google performance guitar, dude, you're gonna get like Charvels, Kramer, Gibson, anything that has performance. You're never gonna get the brand performance.
Yeah.
So I kind of knew what it was, and I quickly took it. He found it in a storage unit or got it as a payment. But it's a great guitar. I love it, dude. Same headstock as that.
I've been dying to get them. I mean, I've been into Steve Weiss.
Well, you know, they actually still make them.
Yeah?
They're still in Hollywood, Steve Weiss, but you can go to get a guitar. They make all tweezers and shit too.
How much are they? Like
Dude, they're probably 2 3.
that's not bad at all.
It's the history you're in with it too, that brand, you know?
But the older ones are.
Dude,
That's
fine.
right.
I get dark. I can't even find them on
It's just I
Reverb.
love anything with a banana headstock.
Yeah,
when I saw that Kramer ad, when
Yeah.
and I don't know if I heard it from your channel, but that when he did a photo shoot, he held it in front of him as opposed to holding it close to his body because I think it just came out of the paint, out of being painted.
Really?
They painted it, they handed it to him, and he just held it in front. The one with the No Bozo t-shirt.
Oh, was that one? Yeah, that. Okay, so that's the Holy Grail.
Yeah,
Beretta,
Holy
in
Grail.
white.
Yeah,
Right?
That's what made me fall in love with clean guitars, and then also this one that I feel.
Yeah.
I mean that guitar, that guitar's super yellow now. I heard that one of his techs gave it away to somebody else. He gave it to a tech, and now he got it back, so he has the original one.
It never stays white, those guitars, dude. I've tried.
Here's Peter Frampton. He was actually at the shop like 2 months ago.
Really?
Yeah, no one will go. He was like,
Legend. There's some Randy Rose glove there, too. I saw you also had George Lynch.
We got George Lynch. Looking
I
all
love
cool with his
that.
frosted hair.
Oh, yeah. He's got the guitar that Nuno played Super Bowl, which would have been with Rihanna, right? And you guys sold it here, which is a Washburn. I think it's white.
No, it was a natural one, and they had to wrap it in car wrap. And that's him signing it.
They wrapped it in car wrap?
Yeah, he apparently showed up for sound check, and like everything on the stage has to be red. So they took his guitar and they wrapped it in car wrap in red, so it matched the rest of the show.
Oh my gosh. Sarah, we'll get on this side here. You guys can go through these pictures a little bit with me here.
All right.
Because that's too cool. I can tell it's a wrap because I can see the orange peel on it. I love it. There he is. We just dropped an episode Pages in Time with Nuno. Up till 2 o'clock in the morning editing it.
It's pretty crazy.
These guitars are so good too. They are
They're
all
great.
ultimate shred guitars, bro.
Performance guitars for sure.
Okay, so gotta ask you then.
There he is with it on.
We're gonna go for it here. Ballpark range. Oh, you get that. There it is with Rihanna. So you guys had this exact guitar.
Yeah.
You sold it. Thank you, Sarah. Ballpark range. What are you looking at? 6 figure, 7 figure?
A lot.
Is that over 7? Is that you saying over 7?
No. It was too much of a fan that really appreciated it.
Wow.
So
it really didn't go for the sticker price you see on it for $24.99 or $34.99.
We're not ones that want to do anybody else's.
Okay.
Throw it out there, but it
Very cool.
it went for a fair price. We were very lucky to have it. It was really, really cool to hear the story, like I said.
Yeah, how the hell did you guys get it?
We're friendly with his management. So we had a guy who's a big collector and a big fan of his ask about getting a new guitar, and we're like, well, we don't know anything about much of the stuff, but when he threw that out there, we're like, really? All right, let's go, let's try.
You might be a bigger encyclopedia of shred than I am. You did me a run for my money right now. It's pretty bad.
I don't know about
You know he knows his shit, folks, okay? So you're in Miami, come out, Walt Grace Vintage, Randy. Very good merch here, too. This is great too. Cheap Trick vibes in here.
Great hat.
That is a great hat. I really like their stuff. Classic.
It look good on you.
See, I'd wear this all day. Yes, with a Targa on it. Very cool. Cars and guitars. That's a great shirt.
Yeah.
Classic 911 Targa on there. Love it.
The branding's amazing.
Branding is killer.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. First of its kind right here. Everybody else came and followed, but Walt Grace Vintage was the first. Makes it so special. And we know this guy right here. We're going to have him on the show. Steve Rosen's going to talk about this book, and we're going to give one away. I don't know if we'll do it before this video. Probably before this video, or maybe not. If not, stay tuned to the channel, guys. Definitely subscribe.
Yeah, this is I think Rhoads is the artist, female artist.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's made out of Fender guitar picks.
Fender guitar picks.
And when you pull back, it's the whole Union Jack.
Dude, that is so incredible. It really is. Yeah. That's awesome artwork, dude.
Yeah, maybe a long one.
So what's the price on this bad boy?
I think that's probably might be 6,000 to 8,000. I gotta double check.
6 to 8. That is incredible, dude. Wow, that's a statement
We had
piece.
a Bob Marley one, like a
Really?
bigger one that was insane, but I think we sold that.
So you get the art, the cars, the guitars, and now even watches. God, I love these. I still kill my dad about this. Before Porsche 911s really took off, he had an 87 930 turbo, red, just like this, and he sold it to Vertex Auto out here, Coral Gables.
Yeah, I remember that.
25 grand. This was 2018, 19?
Yeah.
That's what they went for. Today, hundreds, right?
Everything jumped up in price like crazy.
Dude, a Porsche, that's what you can make on a car. It's a 911, folks. You'll make money.
This is rumored might be a Bee Gees.
Really?
Yeah.
A Bee Gees has that.
Stephen Gibbs, who's a metalhead. I don't know if
Yeah.
you ever met him.
Yeah, I know.
He played in Black Label Society.
Yeah, he's playing with Jason Bieler.
Yeah.
Great singer.
Saigon-
And
Saigon-
Joel Hoekstra. He's doing something with him right now. Yeah,
Saigon Kick also.
Yeah.
He has his band Kill the Robot. Awesome band.
This was his.
Well,
So,
it was
rumored.
all the original Bee Gees. What we had that was really cool, we had one of Carlos Santana's prototypes. It was a double neck, the PRS.
Really?
Henry Smith, before he
Yeah.
had the PRS company built for him in '83.
Are you serious?
We had it here. It
Dude.
was beautiful, and it was a prototype, one of a kind.
Dude. You know what's funny about these cars? I remember when I used to go on the bargain trader every damn week back in the 2000s, and you would find 944 turbos for $6,000, giving them away.
Yeah.
And today they are so hard to find, and the miles are hard to get anything under, 100, 150 now. This is an actual factory race car, right? This is wow. These cars are a lot of fun, folks.
If you look inside here, signed by Bill Adam.
Oh my gosh. Signed by Bill Adam. Look at that. That is awesome, dude. Yeah, this car's bringing back memories. Literally grew up. My dad had a new one. It seems every year, different colors we had. We had grays, and there it is. That is so cool, dude. These cars are a lot of fun, man.
Appetite for Destruction on it was built by Max Baronet.
So it was his guitar.
Yeah, it was the one.
Slashes.
This guitar.
Personal one.
That guitar.
You guys had that?
Yeah. I had it sold in December.
How'd you get your hands on that? And they said, okay, we know the perfect place to unload this. Bring it to Walt Grace.
Well, it wasn't owned by him when we procured it. It was
Okay.
owned by a collector
heard that.
out in the country, and he kind of mentioned he had it. I knew somebody that had interest in procuring it, and we were like, we can work this out.
Yeah, could you share a ballpark range of what that went for?
A lot.
6 figures or 7?
Definitely 6.
Okay.
Well into 6 figures.
There we go. Okay, fair enough. I'll take that. That is historical.
But it was cool because he had a 59 wiring harness in there. So all the pots, his traditional burst and the actual bumblebees and all that stuff.
Wow.
It had PICS in it originally, and he threw his Dunkins and he doesn't.
Wow. So, yeah, he put his Dunkins. Didn't replace them. That's definitely a Slash guitar. Yeah.
He used that for all the performances, for writing advertising.
And the history of that. That's a good look for him. Got the little fishnet gloves in there, too. Oh, man, dude, that's wild, dude. People don't give him enough credit. I always tell people, I say, Slash is a shredder. No doubt. People say, no, he can't. Oh, there's plenty of songs where he just lets loose and rips through with the best of them. But here's the killer part. He can write a fucking solo. The guy can make a melodic solo you can hum. And we tell people this all the time. Those are the memorable solos, the song within a song. And he was a pro, but people love bashing him. And you know what? I agree with you, dude. We have people bash Eddie Van Halen all the time on the platform. He doesn't shred, and I go, you're the guy that's the reason for most of these shredders you see today, okay? So you guys know what happened when he passed? Dog legend, I love you. The same people that said he was full of shit, not a shredder. You know who you are, guys. Not everybody, but there is a couple. There is a couple.
Better people.
All right? But majority of the people that follow, I've all been fans long before that happened, to God, and we all appreciate the mastering and wizardry that he did on Targa. But that's very true. That's very cool. I appreciate you showing that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we are here at Walt Grace Vintage with one of their top specialists here. All these incredible classic cars and guitars. Tell us your name.
How you doing, guys? I'm Jonathan. I'm the curator here at Walt Grace Vintage, and
Tell us about this one.
we've kind of just got in a really, really special Porsche. So thankfully, we've seen this car now twice, and the best compliment we can receive is getting our car back. And so this is a 1979 930 Turbo, and these cars are effectively nicknamed the Widowmaker. And there's a reason, because they actually caused a lot of widows to be poor.
So that was the idea behind it. People got accidents.
Oh yeah, that's literally the name Widowmaker. Like it's 100% true. And it's just a giant single turbo with rear-wheel drive and a ton of power. A car that was really not designed to have that. And there's a great interview with an old Porsche race car driver somewhere I saw years ago that said, if you get in a 930 and sweat doesn't run down your back, get out, because you need to be afraid of it. And that's not meant to scare anybody away from owning one or driving one, but it's just a mutual respect thing. Whereas if you get in a regular, naturally aspirated 911 like the G Series that we have up front, it will honestly make you feel like you're the greatest driver in the world, which is why people love 911s.
Yeah.
Because you're not going that fast, you just need to have this ultimate control. And it's a weird mix of weight in the back, very front, very light front end. And you really learn how to drive them very quickly. This is a whole other ballgame. Entirely how it's very true. You know what's funny, dude? Absolutely how it drives.
Yes, I always said that another good iconic pop culture touch to these cars and this body styling is that if you went to any gas pump in the 80s or 90s, right, that LED screen would usually have an innovation of a 911 or like the early Corvettes.
Yeah,
Those two. That's what you got, right? That tells you everything.
No, for sure.
How influential they were, right? This is 179.
This is 179, 71,000 original miles. This car's been really well documented, but the biggest rarity to this car is going to be the color combination. So this is called Zermatt Silver Metallic, which is kind of like a champagne-y silver over what's called Doric gray leather. So this leather you can really only see in a special edition called a Weiss edition, which is a 1983 911, and that car came in a couple configurations.
Wow.
You could get it in black, you could get it in silver, but it was offered with the Doric gray leather with the red piping and the black carpets. So if you open it up, you'll notice there's a really, really nice contrast with the black carpets to the Doric gray leather. And it's almost like a cashmere tan. It's just, and if you smell that, we need smell-o-vision, I always say.
Oh,
like,
dude.
The smell is insane.
They need to make, they probably do already, Porsche air fresheners.
I know. A few years ago, we had this amazing Testarossa, and Ferraris, Porsches, they all have their scents. And we had a guy who swore, he's like, I can match it. I can pump it through here. Well, we're like, dude, have at it. And unfortunately, he couldn't match it.
He couldn't do it?
No, but I love the passion behind the attempt. Oh, yeah?
Yes.
It's incredible, right? Poke your nose in there. That's what it's probably.
Dude, I remember this smell vividly.
Absolutely.
I love the way these doors also, like, you always know a 911 door, the way it opens.
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
so, dude, thick and strong. You hear that clunk, it's great.
Oh yeah, it's incredible.
Like, wow. Yeah, that's a...
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. So there's a ping that, if the car's been restored, it's one of the toughest things to actually get back.
Really?
And that, if you want to put the camera down here, I'm pretty sure this car still retains it, and there's a pop. Yep, there it is.
Yeah.
You hear that pop? And then there's a ping when you close the door. And it's a little loud in here, but the ping and the pop, like, for a Porsche file, you can really only feel that once, and that's when the car is pretty original.
Dude.
And, it's funny, so we're good friends with the Singer brand.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I love those.
We were fortunate to go out to the factory a couple weeks ago, and I went to go open a door, and I'm like, oh my god, you guys did it! Like
They did it?
Oh, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
Oh, dude, those singers are just like...
Oh, they're insane. Yeah,
So, what kind of wait list do those singers have? You guys know what singers are. You need to do your research. They're phenomenal. Basically, you can get yourself a vintage Porsche that has been completely rebuilt from the ground up, off chassis, rebuild to your specs. I mean, dude, like, how long is that waiting list?
So right now, if you were to put your first deposit down, they're estimating that you're going to see your delivery at the end of 25. Excuse me, end of 27. Yeah. So, but it is worth the wait. The place is the brand is incredible. The finished product is incredible.
Yeah. And now they just started doing the 930s, right? They got the turbos, right?
So basically, everything they build is still based off the 964.
Right.
But now they're building their turbo study is visually a grown up or fully fulfilled 930.
Which these are hard to find because they try to find these donor cars. Countach got there too.
Countach is crazy, dude. That's an 88.5, which is what's called the Lambo World. It's past, I believe, July production. So this is a 5,000 QD. So it's which means it's 5,000. It's quattro valvole, excuse me. So it's 4 valves per cylinder, and this is a 12-cylinder. And the coolest thing about this car, in my opinion, is that when the 25th anniversary came out, they redesigned the gearboxes. And the airboxes have a bit of a downward slope here to lean into to meld into the window. But this is a take on the original airbox design from the original Countach. So I think the QV is kind of the best of both worlds, where you have ultimate 80s and 90s flair with the 25th anniversary style side skirts, wing, which is an option. And then what's really rare about this particular car is they only made reportedly 4 white on black QVs. So this is a white on black car. If you come look over here, you'll see these little perforations in the seats, and believe it or not, this holds quite a it helps the value quite substantially.
Wow,
funny enough.
No kidding.
Yeah. People kind of go nuts for those perforations.
Wow, what a wild car for the time, huh?
It's so cool. And it's funny because this was their answer to the Berlinetta Boxer, so Ferrari's BB of the era. Ferrari spent a fortune wind tunnel testing it. The car was one of the fastest production cars of the era. And Lamborghini was like, oh my god, we have to answer this, And they didn't have the money for wind tunnel testing. They didn't have the money for any of this aerodynamic studies and whatnot. So like, well, listen, theoretically speaking, if we make it low enough, put a big enough motor in it, and make it flat enough, then it should go fast enough. And it did.
All assumptions.
All assumptions.
No need for research and development.
No, they needed to. They just couldn't afford it. But at the end of the day, like the materials that are in this car are kind of comical in comparison to what in the Ferrari of the era or what you would hope would be in the car.
Yeah.
But all of that together kind of led to this cultural icon.
That's what's charm, right?
That's the charm, man. It's just how flat everything is. People are like, oh wow, what this incredible design and everything.
This is so cool.
It's a beautiful accident.
Now, are you big into YouTube car channels?
Yeah. Every now and then I'll go on a deep dive.
So I follow these guys that, there's one guy called Hoobie's Garage, where he works also for, all the automotive magazines. He does all the Barrett Jackson stuff.
Okay.
He bought one of these, and this guy, Doug DeMuro, who has a huge one. He just bought one, too. He has one white. It's like, man, prices just keep going up on these, man.
Yeah, it's, the thing is, they made this car visually from the mid-70s all the way up until 1990. So what you want to make sure is when you're looking at a Countach is you get one that's sorted, and a lot of these cars, like the old 930s, they're really worth nothing for so long.
Right.
So you want to make sure you get one that's cared for, and then if you're looking at it as an alternative asset or an investment, you want to go find that niche within the Countach world.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people think, they're all objectively appreciated. They are, some more than others.
Yeah.
Again, like a 5,000 QV with a one of four colorway, something to be considered. And then there's some that are just a little bit less desirable. They're all going up, but it's not one of those things where you just want to like broad brush strokes buy a Countach. You get yourself into some pretty
exactly.
big trouble.
We did an interview with Carlos Cavazzo from Quiet Riot. He said he had one. And there's actually videos with his white one he got back in the day.
Okay.
So he bought it new, and then he traded it. But it looked like it needed definitely some work. He traded it for a vintage Ferrari.
Okay.
I wonder if he regrets doing that now. If he regrets it, because his car, I'm sure, has gone up double since he traded it.
Depends on the vintage Ferrari,
right?
How do you pay tribute to one of the greatest guitarists from one of the greatest rock bands of all time? Tone Arts USA proudly brings to you the ultimate addition to your shred den, the limited edition Super Halen 1x12 stack. Draped in the pages of a vintage 1990 Van Halen comic book, the Super Halen is a showpiece that can rock like no other. Handcrafted by Tone Arts master luthier Sam Hill, no two Super Halen amps are the same. Each cabinet is scientifically crafted with the highest grade materials to give you that monstrous tone that will light up the sky. It's fully loaded with a 12-inch USA-made Green Beret speaker, a total upgrade from the Celestion G12M greenbacks that we've become so accustomed to. Each cabinet is closed back just like Eddie's, but Tone Arts USA does offer an optional open back if your heart desires. Visit www.mastersofshred.com now to reserve yours today before you can't get this stuff.
This is actually a
wide body too.
Yeah, well, this is a one of one. So, Sonderwalk, or Special Wishes, is the department within Porsche that allows you, as a customer, to pay a certain amount to deviate from standard production. And now it feels like every car is a Special Wishes car, a paint to sample, if you've heard that term.
Right.
So this is free that. So basically, the only way you can get a one-off build like this is if you really had some pull with the company. So this is a 1978 911 SC. So SC stood for Super Carrera. They made the SC from 78 to 83. And it has factory turbo flares and factory tartan interior. So this is exactly how the car left the factory.
That is stunning.
Yeah,
that is so great, so classic.
And it's a Euro spec car, so you get a little bit different ride height, you get a different rear bumper. But this car is immaculate. For all intents and purposes, this is a show car.
Wow, man.
You can use it.
Yeah, it's really hard to find the wide bodies that were targeted.
Well, I mean, there are some others out there, but it's in the same category of being a one-off. So you're just never going to pull up and see another one.
How much is this?
This is 179. 185.
185?
Yeah.
And this is what year?
1978.
78.
Yeah. And the SC saved Porsche, So the fabled story goes, is Peter Schuss, the then CEO at the time, walked into a room and saw a whiteboard, basically, how to get rid of the 911, basically.
Yes.
And because the 928 was supposed to be the savior, and it failed miserably. It was so expensive to produce, it was so expensive to sell.
There's been a lot of movies with that.
A lot of movies, yeah. And it was such a deviation from the DNA, front engine, not a flat motor, and very electronically aligned. And so they're like, whoa, what's the problem? Why would we even think? We've spent now, at that point, over 10 years becoming over 15 years becoming the 911 from the 356 days. I said, well, guys, what's wrong? Why are we even thinking about this? And the biggest issue at the time was every year they would tweak something on the car, be it the brakes, be it the displacement of the motor. Just something that would hinder the dealerships or independent service centers from getting any sort of, patterns in the repairs or how they would break.
Right.
So every year they basically have to, there's a new learning curve. So the cars wouldn't hold their value as well, and people were like, "Oh, Porsches are breaking." And this is not a great era for Porsche. So from 73 till the SC comes about, and they were just, we'll put this motor and these brakes, and this suspension, this idea. Absolutely not. Okay, cool. Now we know our problem is consistency. So we need to give someone something that's more reliable. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to build you a galvanized chassis with a galvanized body. We're going to put a 3-liter flat 6, and we are going to run the same production of the car for 5 years. And that was really the first time in Porsche's history, and they still do this today, where they will produce a near identical car for 5 years. And it wasn't until 83 that they introduced the Cabriolet, but the coupe and the Targa essentially stayed the same from 78 to 83. The exception in 81, cars that came into the States, and really every car had a 17-digit VIN number because safety regulations, you needed these cars to be traced and tracked, and that's why if you look at a Carfax today, if it's a 1981 or up, you'll be able to run a Carfax with a 17-digit VIN. You also have little things like, it's in 81 and up, you have the mandatory 2 mirrors. Everything before that, it was always an option to have 2 mirrors. So 1 mirror was only mandatory.
No, yeah.
Now, is the paint original?
This car's been fully restored, but this is exactly how it left the factory.
It really is beautiful.
They did a wonderful job. This is a 1964 Jaguar E-Type Roadster. They made the Series 1 from 1961 till 1967. And the great thing about this car, aside from everything, is that this has a 6-cylinder motor. A lot of people are told, oh, they make a V12. They do make a V12. But the V12, unfortunately, became very electronically dependent. And it's such a rudimentary, simple motor that's in this car. If you use it more often than not, and you're a good mechanic, these things are a lot of bread. But visually, in my opinion, and in the opinion of Enzo Ferrari, it is the most beautiful car in the world. What I love about it is if you walk around this whole car and you find probably less than a handful of flat surfaces. The whole car has a curvature to it that is just so unique and so timeless.
Right.
And I just think you can sit and cut this up and stare at certain angles and just find things every time. The tactility of everything, the little switches are just so amazing. Wow. And,
They really are. It's like a cockpit of an airplane.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the only car, excuse me, that the British car that's been displayed in the moment. There's only been 12 cars displayed with them, and this is one. Wow. So the Series 1 E-Type is a total piece of art.
Dude, that is stunning.
This is amazing.
What's the price on this? It's a tag.
$29. Yeah, this is pretty aggressively priced. This is a very, very original car. It's been repainted once, but it's fully restored. And it's really hard to find with these Series 1s. Is this color combination. A lot of black over oxygen red cars have been painted and reupholstered to good black over oxygen. This was born in this colorway. So this was born and delivered originally in Philadelphia and stayed there almost its entire life and came to Florida a few years ago. It's just
Do you guys ever get nervous test driving cars?
Oh, dude. Forget about the roads. I always joke the scariest part of my life is test drives because I take people out. I have no idea how they're going to drive. 2, we're getting a vintage car. It's not like we're going in a new Ford. So particularly, this is a very challenging car to drive. It's a completely unsynchronized gearbox, so that means you kind of got to double clutch or flip the throttle in between shifts, and you want to be at a complete stop when shifting at first or grind the gears. So it's very rewarding when you get it right. It's very challenging, and people can get frustrated when you're driving it, and unfortunately, it can be a huge deterrent to ultimate ownership.
Right.
Because listen, like I said, you can get one of these. And oh my God, you're made to feel like the best driver.
You're on the road.
You get one of these, and you're reminded you got some way to go.
Right.
But to me, I think that's what's amazing about this era of cars. They're not trying to make you necessarily feel better as the owner or driver. They're trying to get you to really learn it and be familiar with it to the point of it will become an extension of you. And you feel everything, you listen to everything. And with vintage cars, you really have to. Like I joke, I own British cars. And I joke, when you get inside these things, you got to talk to it every morning. You go, all right, we're going to have a good day today. And, it is this thing that ebbs and flows with you. And it's never more true with anything than a British car, especially, a 60s Jaguar. Like a Ferrari, it could do one thing the next day that it hadn't done prior. Right. But to me, that's the whole thing of vintage car ownership is learning those things, learning maybe where that stemmed from and what you can do to juju it or, fix it however. But
Love the windshield wipers too.
The windshield wipers.
I have the 3.
Your car's just total art. And when they came out with the Series 2, they unfortunately opened up those headlights so they were no longer enclosed. But the look of the car is just look. I mean, literally, just look at this.
Dude, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'll admire this car.
I love this.
And look at the price tag. It's really not a lot for the character you're getting. Like, you're never going to see this car on the road.
It's never going to happen.
So this is a 1958 LGA Roadster. These are just wonderful little, I call this a four-wheel motorcycle. It's a 1.5 liter inline 4 great torque and sweet little noise, but you're never going to get yourself in trouble from a speed perspective because they're not very fast.
It looked fast though.
Yeah, it does. And you have that rear little speedster on it. And then nice black stripe running through the center.
That's right.
It absolutely does. The AC Cobra is based off of AC Bristol. And so that's very iconic shape that's derived from British cars. So this way you have the shape from bumpers, you have this really cool little speedster haunch. So this is like proof not all MGs are equal.
That's super
That is so cute.
Right? It's adorable.
Tons of character.
Tons of character.
I would
My
like.
favorite thing on the whole car is this is the horn.
Wow.
That's great.
Sorry. That's so
That
cute.
is awesome. Right there. I love it. That's really nice.
That's a pleasant horn.
So this actually comes up and covers the cockpit of the car.
Yeah.
Behind there you have a convertible top that folds up with glass windows. So it's not necessarily practical, but it's not.
And you know in the sun, this color must pop.
Oh, it's really cool. The gray metallic's beautiful.
Yeah, this has got pop hard.
But the proportions, again, it goes back to looking at something that drastic. It's just so cool for the air.
Right?
It's a great tag,
It's
right?
killer, right?
Isn't that cool?
I really dig that car, dude. Wow. So, guys, again, as you can see, it's not just guitars. It is cars. It is jewelry, which we're going to get to those watches, too. Vintage watches. It's an experience, a destination. And soon there's going to be a destination like this with the same name and affiliated called Walt Grace Vintage, Nashville.
Yep.
Nashville. 2 stories with a venue and a restaurant. I think I said enough. I can't say any more than that. But you guys got to definitely follow Walt Grace Vintage on social media to get all the updates. But like, have you ever seen anything like this before? This set the trend for, as I said, many shops, galleries, or at least guitars that you've seen across the country. So keep that in mind. It's the original Walt Grace. It's very cool. I appreciate you showing us. Just stocked up. Look at this.
So a little bit of everything. Some Patek, some APs, some cool Omegas.
Look at a whole menu
A
here.
whole menu. Yeah.
Look at your watch menu.
Yeah. You have your appetizers, your main courses, aperitivo, desserts, all the above.
That is so cool.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
So a little bit more you're going to see online. I love the old vintage Breitling. It's so cool.
I know.
Love that.
There's so much depth to that dial. There's so many functions.
I know. So cool. I love that. Yeah. So this is a new aspect of the store, or
Relatively, yeah. So we've partnered with a great brand. They're Miami-based. It's called Menta Watches, and while they don't necessarily have a public-facing retail outlet, we kind of act as that for them. And they curate an amazing inventory for us, and it hits all nails on the head. You have everything from like you said, aviation tools from the Breitling there to none other than moon watches from Omega there, the Speedmaster, Hoyer Carrera. You get into the collectible AP world, the absolute blue chip Patek Philippe world with a beautiful Patek Philippe Calatrava with an asymmetrical sub-dial there, very rare, and then a Tiffany enclosed stamped Calatrava from the 80s there, and of course you have your sport model Rolexes, everything ranging from Submariners to GMTs, subsection of GMTs like the Coke and the Pepsi, and then you have just really quirky, what you can consider one-offs in the great scheme of Rolex.
I was looking at that.
Yeah, this is called a caboose. So this is a presidential, so it shows both the date and the time. So it was the first watch of its kind to do that. And this was made for Sultan Caboose. And Sultan Caboose would give these watches away as party favors.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So it has, if you look closely there, you'll see there's a red signature. That's his signature on there. And what's also really nice is that's a real Tiger Eye stone dial. So you'll notice how horizontal the stone is. Each Tiger Eye dial is completely different to the next. So they're all one-offs.
I love that.
So this is incredible, and you can see it's in this really cool croup design case here. But so we'll pull this out. This watch is just in great overall shape, and this is a huge piece. This is 48 millimeters. So the sheer size of it, just next to a Submariner, you can see there. And the size of the watch is hefty.
Dude, that is
But it's
big,
just so
huh?
cool. Yeah.
Let's make a good shot of that.
And that's a 1970s Navitimer. And the patina is just incredible. I love what Omega and Breitling and all these brands used to do in terms of colors. So you notice you have that really, really rich orange on the minute and hour and second.
Yes.
You also have some really cool blues on the subdials there. So it's just got so much character.
It's really priced pretty good, I think.
Yeah,
right? That's really fair, dude.
You know, at $5,800,
yeah.
You know, I don't think you can walk into Breitling today and get anything compared.
You probably was a 10. You ain't doing it. Yeah. And you got history on this.
You do, yeah. It's
and again, you're not going to go out and just find someone wearing this watch.
Correct.
It's vintage.
Yeah.
That is super cool, dude. I love that. Thanks for showing me that, man. Wow.
We have some very collectible records in here, but if you look right over here, you know, you can come in here and sift through some of the coolest, you know, vintage, period correct pieces that you'll find. And what's really special is that we play through all the records all the way through to make sure that there's no issues.
Wow.
And they're just great pieces. And it's something that anybody can take home and connect to.
Yeah.
Listen, at the end of the day, this is tangible music, you know. It's
right.
It's physical. You can touch, feel.
No, it's
just sniff.
Dude, that is that old smell of every flea market you want to go to.
Right.
We do a lot of vintage shopping, so that's
so you know the smell.
Oh, we know that smell, dude.
You open that old case and you're just like, oh, that wow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Like this.
Yeah. Hey everybody, now that concludes our visit to Walt Grace Vintage, the destination, the experience here in Wynwood Art District in Miami. Because if you like classic cars, you like guitars, you like fine jewelry, this is the place to go to experience it all, folks. There's nothing not to love. Now, if you like this video, do us a favor. Definitely make sure to subscribe to the channel, shred the notification bell, like this video, share it with a friend. Easiest way to support this channel without ever having to open your wallet. But if you do want to open your wallet, I open my wallet quite a bit for this channel. Sarah would agree, then definitely would appreciate it. And check out our awesome merch in this video. And check out our Super Halen amps, 1 of 50, limited to just 50. Awesome, awesome, cool stuff there. We got some more products coming down the line too, so check all those out. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more Axescursions for yours truly and her too.